Mothers and children are often said to be connected by strong invisible ties that science is still unable to explain. Motherly love, unconditional and infinite, is one of the reasons those ties are strong and unbreakable. Some people, and you could be one of them for all we know, don't believe in the holistic nature of the mother-child ties and say that they're nothing more than a myth. Today's story will definitely make you believe in them, as it is probably the best proof of this theory. Let's start from the beginning. Kate and David OG were a young couple who found peace and safety in each other. Only a few months after their first date, the couple, more in love than ever, decided to take their union to the next level. They got married in a small and intimate wedding where their friends and family got to share the joy of knotting the tie and becoming husband and wife, partners in life until death pulls them apart. The couple lived in harmony and happiness. The only problem that tarnished their family happiness was their inability to conceive. They both wanted to be parents and grow their family to include a child to share their happiness and love. Nonetheless, Kate and David didn't give up, and they firmly believed that a miracle would happen anytime and their dream of building their family would come to reality. One day I noticed there was something wrong with my body. My eating habits changed, and I wanted to sleep all the time, so I suspected that I might be pregnant. But in order not to give my husband false hope, I decided to take a test on my own that evening. I couldn't believe my eyes, but the test was positive. Kate recalled the day she found out that she was finally pregnant. When David got home from work that night, Kate surprised him with the happy news right at the door. David was over the moon. He was finally going to be a dad. And guess what? This time things get better. When the couple went to their first ultrasound, the doctors told them that they were actually having twins. The couple was happier than ever. They weren't going to have one but two children to fill their life with more joy and laughter. Kat's pregnancy was stable and healthy, and David took very good care of her throughout everything. The couple was eager to hold their babies and were just looking for the day Kate gives birth with impatience. When Kate was 27 weeks pregnant, she started feeling unusual contractions. Fortunately, I was at home with my wife at the time, so without wasting a minute, I quickly put her in the back seat of the car and took her to the hospital. The doctors tried to stop the contractions, but they couldn't, David recalled. Only a few hours after Kate was admitted to the hospital, two beautiful children were born, a boy and a girl. The newborns were weak and of small size and were taken to the intensive care unit immediately. The girl, who the couple named Emmy, was healthy and had normal organ growth. Her brother Jamie, however, wasn't. He stopped breathing few minutes after his birth. The doctors tried everything they could to resuscitate him and bring him to life, but their efforts were in vain. After half an hour of resuscitation, the doctors called the time of death. It was time they delivered the sad news to the new mother. Kate was impatiently waiting for news about her children. She knew that children born at this stage are weak and have very slim chances of surviving. When the doctor came in, he asked us if we had chosen a name for our boy. I told him that his name was James. Then he wiped his forehead and said the worst thing I had to hear in my entire life. Unfortunately, Jamie didn't make it, recalls Kate with teary eyes. We did everything we could, but medicine is powerless here. Please accept our condolences, the doctor said. David was standing next to the doctor at the time and collapsed on the bed in tears. Kate herself couldn't process nor accept the horrible news. She was crying hysterically, repeatedly saying, "No, that can't be true." When the doctors told her that unfortunately it was the case, she asked to hold her son one last time. Other doctors heard Kate screaming and came running, trying to get her to calm down, but the mother was hysterical and refused to believe that she lost her child. Seeing that she wasn't going to calm down anytime sooner, the doctors gave in and allowed her to hold her child. I remember picking up the baby. Jamie was so cold that he couldn't breathe, and I just wanted to keep him warm. We waited so long for him, and I just couldn't understand why he would leave us so soon. Then I got another crazy idea. I told my husband to take off his t-shirt and lie down next to me on the bed. Kate said, recalling the moment she held the cold corpse of her son in her arms. The staff saw this odd action as nothing but the agony of a mother who had just lost her child and refused to believe her boy was dead. Even David was surprised and in disbelief, but he did what he was asked. The baby lay between us. Not breathing, said Kate. We decided to warm our baby with our own body warmth. We were trying to entice him to stay. We explained his name, that he had a twin to look out for, and how hard we tried to have him. We told him how much we loved him, and we just talked to him honestly. It was all as if in a fog. I just talked and talked, and the doctors just stood there with their heads down. My husband supported me, although he understood that it was too late. That's what everyone thought, but not me, Kate said later. Only a few moments later, something happened that no one was expecting. Little Jamie took a barely noticeable breath, and a few more minutes later, he started to breathe normally and even grabbed David's finger with his tiny hand. The doctors who had pronounced the boy's death were stunned and stood there in complete awe and disbelief. The baby came back to life after cuddling with his parents and feeling their body warmth. The doctors said that it was simply impossible. The baby was pronounced dead almost an hour earlier without a single sign of life. They couldn't explain how and why the baby began to breathe. The doctors said that they had never seen such a miracle, one that was only possible because of Kate's intense maternal love and her refusal to accept the terrible news. I'm sure that if Kate hadn't demanded to hold James, then he would never have survived. And no matter how strange it may sound now, he heard our prayers and did not leave us, David said later. The twins who were born at 27 weeks quickly gained weight, and once they reached natural weight and became strong enough, they were discharged. They were finally going to sleep in the same house as their parents. The OG family had since grown as another member, the twins' younger brother, Charlie, joined in. The siblings are all healthy and enjoy playing with each other. Kate and David had their dream come true and knew that miracles are true, as they've witnessed one together when their little boy came to life, all because of maternal love and the strong ties a mother and child share.